Nothing too elaborate. Bristle paintbrush. And we're just going to put this on right here, I guess. Right there. We'll see what happens over the next few minutes. And we got pretty good coverage over a fairly decent size area. Real good coat. So basically, I think just to make it a dull coat, or make it look dull, would be the category for, excuse me, just to make it look dull. All it does is scotch up the outer clear coat, and it doesn't actually get below the clear coat, which is, I think, pretty much what we just did. So I don't think that actually will do too much, but we're going to experiment. We're going to experiment a little bit, see what happens. We should give it a few minutes. We should probably try the underside too, because I think the underside isn't clear coated. Let's see what's there. Yeah, I think the underside is not clear coated. But like if we do this to the underside, yeah, this isn't clear coated. I think it's just a top. And we just do this real quick. I don't know if you can see what I did there, but let's turn it a little bit. I just put a little bit of stripper right here on this area, and a little bit up there where I sandpapered it a little bit. But let's put this up against the wall. Set it up to where it doesn't fall anyway. Bondo, I do know that Bondo, from what the YouTube videos I did, you put Bondo on something and the chemical stripper will just eat it right up and pull it right up. So, which is a good thing in that regard. But you see, I got a little bit of a blue on this stripper just from painting it on real quick. So you can tell a lot of this is going to come right off. And it looks like a lot of that part just looks like it came right off of the brush almost. Let's use the left hand. All right. Yeah, so there's a nice white underneath, it looks like. The white doesn't come off as easy as the blue, but the clear coat, the stripper won't do anything to the clear coat. Knows that so far. Anyway, okay, that's not too bad. I don't know what kind of paint or coating they use for that, but that's not terrible. But that looks like the stripper took it off pretty well on that. I mean, I'd probably do it again in order to get little bits and pieces off of this. Since I came off that easily on that part, let's take it off, see what happens with this. All right, it comes off pretty well. I mean, I didn't do any scraping, I'm just wiping it with a rag afterwards. All right, so, which is all fine and dandy. Okay, but I don't know what kind of paint they use. What they use for primer. It looks like a decent white, but and it comes off. But that's not the part I'm stressing about. It looks like it worked pretty well. But if we do this part over here, set this down again. This part here, what we just did stripper on, nothing comes off at all. Clear coat is solid as a rock. Clear coat is solid as a rock. There is no change. It just makes it nice and shiny. Takes any garbage. It's almost like a lightweight. Yeah. Anyway. So obviously I did not get below the clear coat here. So I do have one other kind of stripper that supposedly takes clear coat off. But I don't want to waste it on areas that just don't matter that much. Now, let's try something else. Like this scratch right here is scratched down to the white underneath, right? So let's try that for demonstration purposes on this. The types of things we've got to go through to figure out how to work this. Let's see if this Suzuki emblem, which I really don't like this particular Suzuki emblem, but I don't think it's going to come off. Now, this chip thing is a whole other ball game, but now I would be fairly decently happy if the Suzuki emblem was painted over the clear coat and it would just come right off, but I don't think that's the case. To be perfectly honest, there's some scratches here. You can put a little bit of stripper on that and see what happens, but honestly, I don't think the clear coat's going to, I don't think anything is going to happen. Now, you might get a little bit of working along the edge of that scratch, maybe, but I don't think it's going to do too much. Give it a couple of minutes. I don't know what happened with that. That looks like a pretty deep into the white portion of it. Even if we get down to where the white primer portion is, it's still going to have a little groove there, so I'm going to have to do something to fill that in. And then I'm going to have to paint over it. I'm going to have to do something over it in order to make it look smooth and clean. And anyway, so there's a couple of scratches in there too. I don't know if they would produce any weaknesses in it, but the only thing that I could think of that would actually do anything to get rid of the clear coat is probably sandpaper. You just have to sandpaper all the clear coat completely off and then do the stripper underneath. And then I have to fill in the scratches, the deep scratches where the white layer is on the tank. I would have to fill it in with Bondo or something, and then I would have to paint over it again. Not really a good happening thing, but it is what it is, you know? So let's do a quick wipe here. Looks like some of that gunk came off. But lo and behold, none of the Suzuki airbrush stuff, all that's underneath the clear coat. Clear coat's a pretty good protectant. I tell you, especially the proper American hard clear coat, I believe is what it's called. Anyway, okay, so nothing happened with this. Actually, the edges of this might have, yeah, a little bit on the edge of that might have come down to, yeah, maybe. But there's not really anything that we can do with this. Nothing we can do with this at all. Actually, that it has a little bit of divot still. Huh. Anyway, so I can honestly conclude that I'm very unhappy with the category of this particular stripper taking off any clear coat. So I'm going to go get a different stripper and see what I can do with that. I think I have a different stripper. Now this one is it says Aircraft Ultra Paint Remover. But down here, a few lines down, it says designed specifically to remove 2K automotive coatings. Do I believe it? I don't know. We will see. So we'll see if it actually removes it. I need to get a different cup, I think, for that stripper cup. All right. Here's a different cup. This is an Acres of Clay cup. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Acres of Clay, but it's a YouTube channel called Acres of Clay. It's an interesting little thing. But I'm going to use it for stripper today. Yay. Okay. So let's open this up, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not trying to say specifically I'm going to do one thing or the other necessarily, but I would like to come up with some kind of decision maybe. But whew, that one stinks a little bit more. That's thicker too. Oh, how interesting. All right. I better wear gloves on. Wow. All right. So we're going to try this aircraft stripper on this other Suzuki emblem. It annoys the bejeebus out of me. And it says it's supposed to be able to do this in less than a half hour. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. So this is kind of a broad stroke scouting guard. If this doesn't work on this, I don't know. It should be working in a half hour or less. Yes. So we're going to put it all over the place on this one because this is our best possible shot of taking off this clear coat. Should take it down all the way to the bare metal within a half hour. And I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we will see. We will see. Supposedly. Wow, this is toxic stuff. You know what? I got enough in this cup to cover the entire tank. Let's just do this. It might take it all the way down to the bare metal, but we're not getting through that clear coat, was probably out without taking off that white coat underneath. That's just perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned. Woo! And we can probably use some of that other stripper on the bottom. Wow. Oh, oof. This is a lot stronger stuff than, which is probably a good thing. But dang. The other stuff is lightweight. Okay, did I get everything on that? On the top end anyway? The bottom end I can probably use the other stripper. Wowzers. Okay. I did not want to get the stripper on that plastic handle. Let's get that plastic handle off. Okay, I think my fingers are going to burn. I don't wash stuff off my hands. Be right back, guys. I need to set a timer too or something. All right, guys, I'm going to put, oh, this is doing some interesting filming stuff. All right, I'm going to put you guys on pause. I think I can pause this on this camera. So I'm going to put you on pause, and then I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, we are back. I don't know how much time passed, but I got some water, help clean it off. I am more impressed with this particular stripper that's specifically designed for 2K. But it is, ooh, it has toxic smell to it, but you know what? If it gets it off, I may have to do several coats. Now there's some places over here in the front where we scratched it up a little bit and we put the other stripper on it. It didn't work as well in that area, so I'm probably going to have to, clean it off with soap and water and redo it again. But because of the mixture between the two types of stripper, but that's okay. I mean, it means a little bit more work, but it also means it's doable. So what I'm going to do is do a quick wipe here. Oh, it didn't come off. Or is it only going to take off the clear coat? There's an interesting thought. I mean, it's cracking it up pretty good. Oh, wow. See, shows how much I know about this stuff, huh? Oh, there we're getting down to a blue coat that's underneath that. I think we need to leave it a bit longer. All right. That was interesting, though. Let's try the area. Now, that was the stuff that I would expect to come right off. But it is still hanging on a little bit. Maybe I need a little bit of scratchy thing on there. Let's try the white, the places that turn more whitish rather than bubbly, and see if that comes off a little bit better. This is with water. Probably shouldn't use water. It probably dilutes it in the process. Let me see if I can get another cloth, and we'll try a different way, different method on that. Now, it may be, and I don't know this for a fact or nothing, but it may be that it'll only work very well on clear coat and not on, see, now this isn't going to work at all. Maybe it'll only work well on clear coat. Now, this probably hasn't been long enough, but you know what? I'm going to say that this will work. I just need to give it more time. I am actually more impressed with that than what I thought it would be. So what we're going to do is we are going to put more stripper on that. May require a lot more, maybe. I don't know. But let's pop this. Put my screwdriver away, didn't I? Let's pop this stripper thing back open. Non-methyl chloride formula, whatever that's supposed to mean. All right. All right. I may have to buy more stripper like this, remember right, it was kind of a little bit on the expensive side, but it's worth a shot to try to get this stuff all the way down to the metal. Otherwise, it wasn't working out. I might have to leave it on here longer. I think it isn't working as well in the areas where I had stripper on it, the other stripper on it. And we have to do some more standard green scrubby things, probably to take it off. All right. I am far more impressed with this than what I was before, but I need to go across the street real quick, I think, and get a green scrub pad. But I will be right back, guys. Hold on.